Yo ski, yo ski,
How your
yo ski.
ness?
Mr.
What's
Daft is in the
good?
building.
Daft,
Mr.
hey, Daft
Daft,
Dunda.
Mr.
Daft
Pre-existing,
Punk. Mr.
pre-existing daftness.
Predisposed to daftness. No, I know, guys. No, I don't know. I'm sorry if I came across as harsh. Hey,
No, the people
uh,
agreed with you. The people agreed.
yes,
The people
yeah,
agreed. The people were
because
like, no, he's right. People are daft.
come on, people are
People
daft.
are,
You know
yeah.
what I always find interesting about our sort of temperament with things, you and I.
Mm,
During the podcast, you
yeah.
are more PR savvy, but in the comments, I am more PR savvy than you because some of the comments I've seen you fire, I'm like, hey yo,
I-
man's not having it.
n- n- Welcome to the show, episode 60.
Episode
Because
60.
before we get carried away, Mr. Chidis, how are you, my bro?
I'm very well, my
Um,
broski, and
you
yourself.
just, I feel I'm so bummed out because I missed your last show, man.
Nah, it
Uh,
happens. It
I
happens.
I had set
There
it
was a
up in a way.
sudden.
I know I had my tickets and everything. I had my
Oh
tickets and
no.
everything. I was set up, but what happened was I had staggered my day. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm in Birmingham. I'm going to do this property expo thing, and then around 3,
Mm-mm.
ndakananga Lanso. Ah,
Okay.
I should have known. No. June Zimbabwe is not going. 3 p.m. is not going to be 3 p.m.
Come on. It's
And the
starting at
crazy,
3
but I was
p.m.
still looking at time. I was still looking at time, saying, then I got hit with the trains.
Oh yes.
Because already from Birmingham to Houston, it was a 2 hour, like the best case
Mm.
scenario around the time was now
The,
2 hours 11. And I put my 1 hour 20, 1 hour
mm.
30, my first ones, which was still going to get
You
me,
might
but
have.
we might have. But I ndobva ndazoona kuti chipatapata chimwe chacho chanchakuitika. What was happening in London that day? It was wireless weekend.
Oh yeah, I
It was
think that's the
it was
case.
it
Yeah.
was wireless weekend.
Yeah.
So
So even trains locally would be a matting. Yeah. I know. It's
so
all
and
good.
then
It's all good, my
Z was
G.
telling. How was it? How was it, bro? How was it shutting down the production?
No, it was good. It was good. It was a strong run.
Yeah,
Yeah, a few BFFs came through
yeah.
and drips and drabs. It was nice, but it's just any other day at the office, really.
Yeah, you're
To be
being
honest,
very, you're being very, yeah.
no. That's the truth. It's any other day at the
No,
office.
yeah,
To be honest, there's nothing more I can take away from it. But your boy
yeah,
was cooking, of course.
yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's what bums me the most,
yeah,
Kuti.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so back to Nyangosh Tower here, PR ending.
Uh,
Somebody actually said in the comments, Kuti, "Tikandorodzera kuzviita kunge dziri ndingiri." I honest, no.
that was
I
my
know what it
burner
is.
account.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is. I think subconsciously it's just a thing of we can't be both bad cops, right?
Okay.
It's similar to the times where you give me devil's advocate. It's not
Yeah. Okay,
because
I
you're
get that.
doing devil's
Yeah.
advocate because you're default, but it's like let's get the other side of that. If Munasha Arushezra kuti you are daft and in Indrusa and Madofo.
Yeah, down there, man over.
So I did realize, like, subconsciously it allows for multitude of perspectives to see
A balanced
yeah.
discussion. Yeah. No,
So for
in all
and
fairness, yes, you're right. I do recognize that
mm,
subconsciously, and obviously, I think the past episodes are littered with
yeah.
evidence of such cases. But yeah, no, man, my comments in the
But
comments
in the comments
in the
now,
comment
here's a
section.
here's there was a comment that you responded to on Instagram that I even deleted as like, my boy. let me deal with let me let me deal with that one. Let me
That's
don't even give
that,
don't even give
that's
the
that's when I was like, yeah, no, Kandoro really is on. That's when I was like,
I like
man,
no no no.
that was very PR laden, that response. The Kandoro was like, no,
Yeah, I was like,
no,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
fuck all of that.
No, because because do you know the thing that the difference between those comments, right? Is Kuti,
Mm,
anyone who gets to hear the podcast gets to
yeah,
understand the context of where the conversation was coming from, right?
of course.
So even Tikataura, Raf, even Tikataura, people understand good
Mm,
it's within the context of Pabridge,
yeah,
right?
of
But
course.
the reason why I would rather stand on whatever it is, my comments is because there's a high likelihood that munhu arikungopfurira achienda kwaari kuenda.
Arutongopfurira
Handi
ndepabridge.
saka pakupfurira ipapa apa inini I don't appreciate kamwe yake kuti unopfurira uchifamba uchanzi inini ndine rafu. Aiwa, ngatitopfidzirana ipapa. Because I can't even say kuti ndokubatira kuepisode kana kuti ndichazokupindura munhingiri because I can't trust kuti uchaiona episode yacho. Saka rega titongodhila tese ipapa.
Chipomira
Maxense
ipapo,
anyone.
hey,
Yeah. Oh,
whoa.
I can't take the chance that you listen to the podcast. Tozo batana next time. Ipapa
That's
pawada
funny.
kumirizikira pavanhu, pawada kuonerwa pa. Ngatitongochita
Let's.
se the crazy thing that happens to that is half the time these people respond, they expect to have the last word.
Mm,
They don't expect a word response back. So the part of the shock is I thought because they expect you to be the bigger person. I'm like, you must not know about this podcast then, because bigger person do a sipo.
hapana sa tese panapa
Bigger.
titori, hey.
We will meet you
titi-
at your height.
Oh,
We will meet you at your height.
panapa
Pauri pap
titori nemadhara vedwarfism
pa
panapa.
pauri pap will meet you in that same vein though on a positivity thing. I met a dude at this property expo. Shout out to Sif, shout out to CBZ. They put together this
Mhm.
incredible showcase of people that are building homes, constructing, doing property, put together stands. Anyone who's interested in investing back in Zim, building their first home. So that's what it
Nice.
was. Different, and West Prop, Velde Estates, CBZ, Terrace Africa. And at Terrace Africa are the guys that are responsible for building all the new malls in Zimbabwe. If you've heard Vana Highlands Park,
Okay.
Vana Green Acres. So they were just there, uh, pension fund. They were just there showcasing their wares, if you want. So it was
Mhm.
incredible. And I felt like a grown up, do it, do it, do
Hey,
it, do it, do
brother,
it, do it, do it.
even you describing who was there and what they do and what they
Yeah.
what no, you could tell kuti zvoni apana opportunity zvoni, right? Saka after party
So it was an incredible of who's building. And I met a
yeah,
gentleman
yeah.
who's a fan
Mm,
of the podcast who took me and said, Yo, King,
nice.
uh, big fan of the podcast. I just wanted to shout out to you for the conversation that
Oh,
you brought up about body positivity. Because as men, we never get to hear that side of and he shared his own perspective.
mm.
I've grown up and in my hips, so even my mama ningrini, the pants that I wear are tailor made and what. So that was incredible seeing and having a conversation with somebody who has been positively,
Touched,
impacted or
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
reaffirmed, hearing, because I think hearing those things, hearing us discuss it as openly about those kind of insecurities was just, I don't know how many other people felt the same way, but just hearing that was like, you know what, takadzungaira zvedu,
Yeah,
but from time to
yeah.
time, boys la
Tombela darkness
positivity,
zvedu, but
darkness zvedu, but
boys like
boys
boys
la
la
positive.
positivity.
Yo,
So
Emi,
that
funga
really
na
made me happy, man.
sasa.
That really made me happy. I
Angalia
was shout out to
we just wanna talk about it,
shout out to him, shout out to
Welcome,
that gentleman.
welcome. Oh, you know what
In that
time it
same
is. Send it
frame,
to your friends so they also be
almost
a
skipped
part of
past this
this.
because I'm not
You
waiting
cannot
to tweet a
describe what you
beef,
feel,
but
huh?
my coffee actually I'm
We
going
taking Zimbabwe to the world,
Bro,
huh? Yeah,
so
Hey.
this is Black in
to
4.
play
Welcome.
intro,
This is Black in 4.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
realize.
you get to play back
I
and
oh,
forth.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize. Well, but yeah, managed to eat beef at my coffee apa. Big shout out, very excited.
Yeah.
This weekend,
What's-
Black and Forth socials. Shout out to everybody that has reached out. Girls and boys lab activity. Kuti ma
Mm.
tickets alpha chichichi takanzwa mchiti mune ma tickets eni. Do I? It's okay.
You didn't expect to just glide past that, did
No,
you?
no, no. No, no. Mm.
Mm.
So, I mean, the offer still stands. If you want to come through to the socials, hit us up.
Boom.
19th of July, Birmingham. The show starts at 6
Um,
p.m. Come through, dress to your nines. It's going to be fun. It's going to be incredible, man. I'm very excited
it's gonna be
for
lit.
it. But yeah, in that same Shakadaru Kanamba.
Number oh my god, it's a banger.
Zinamba. Zinamba Rema Coffee.
Nemaplete sadza. Nema freeze it. Pampers,
Hoyoski.
nema napkwen.
Right, vadikani vatariri. Kungokuchingamidzai kuchirongwa chedu kanaika. Havana kuwanda. Havana kana kutombowanda.
Oh yeah.
So
we can announce all of them before the track appear. Before we have to loop it.
we could have done it before the beat dropped. To be honest. Right. Takutanga nekutenda mukoma Pride nyakudya akatenga 3 maplates esadza 3 maplates esadza anzi usavi ndoya nawo bata nepapa boys rangu makaipa mukoma Pride nyakudya tinokutendai. Then PT ndobva auya akati nemukono wangu we10 maplates esadza nyama mozvionera. As promised, enjoy the live show, guys. We'll catch you next time. Akauya ku DM. This is the lady. The lady who said I can't come to the show, but I want to send Mari that is equivalent to at the very least 5 tickets. So ladies and gentlemen, and that's it. Do my comfort. Like,
Damn.
are we beefing, guys?
It's like chi. Takada
Gee.
what is it? Hmm?
Gee. No, big shout out, man. This podcast, I think, in as much as people might look at it as the way of you guys entertain us, I think it's honestly been a saving grace in terms of just having us a weekly spot where you can offload some of these thoughts and worries and get to just share your perspective on the world and unsolicited opinion uchingoita spew and just and yeah
in a safe manner, might I
in a
add.
safe manner and to be finding pockets of people that resonate with that are like, oh, this is my people. Pabriji, Pachichichi has been honestly one of the most incredible. I say that to say I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys in person.
Yeah, it's gonna be
This
lit.
Saturday. It's going to be incredible, man. I'm looking forward to it. I hope Laura comes through. To my Trang
offerings, to my ooey.
Hands petition for Kandoro to stop saying bastardize. Come on, brother. There are other words. You're trying to bastardize my vocabulary. Wilson.
Bastardization of
Anzina
Eloquence.
great. Anzina Tatenda 263, great podcast. I sense a bit of doubt in terms of faith. I invite you to read The Reason for God by Tim Keller. Explores the topic from multiple religions perspectives. So definitely check that out. Um, definitely check that out. Hansana Otilia, this episode was actually a very stressful one for me. King even explained the psychology of what people may be going through, and Baba where Daft was like, no.
No. Daft is daft,
I'm
man.
what are you giving us? What's the word of the week this week, Mdara? What are we going? Last week it was Daft. What are we going with this week?
The word of the week.
Mm.
Aish.
What are we word of the
I
week?
don't
What are
know.
you giving us?
Word of the week, Nasi. I
Parrot,
need to. I need
parrot.
to. I need to feel the temperature of
All
what
right, okay.
what do we have on the
What's
ground,
what?
and then
So
I will ascribe and yeah.
so in the same vein of the things that we've been talking about, there's a topic that came up this earlier today. I don't know
Mm,
if this was a real topic, but from time to time, these Twitter accounts will put up uh, these engagement farming topics.
mm,
So
mm, mm.
right. So there was a tweet that came up that said, "Is it wise to give your helper a Wi-Fi password? And also, does the helper need to contribute a certain amount to the Wi-Fi?"
Um, my approach to this one
Mm,
is going to be from a rather westernized kind of point of view.
mm,
Um, in that, I don't know how far true and declared it's been now, but I understand in recent times access to the internet has become like almost a right,
mm.
if that makes sense. But I don't know in the context of Zimbabwe where internet penetration is barely 40%. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well you can put it in that context. But I believe the short end answer of it is if someone lives in the house, if they're going to access electricity and you have Wi-Fi, it's akin to asking them to contribute to the electricity bill or to the water bill. Basically,
S-
that's my answer.
My answer was Rimvunzo renyu ndezvekumama.
I mean,
That's
from
what I.
okay, look, from the
That's what I
minute you
wrote.
said, from the minute you said one of those engagement farming type questions, right? My default, my default approach to that was "Zvimvunzo zvokumama." That's a given. So
And
Nandafungoti, so I thought we were just
we
humoring
interrogate. Right, right, right.
Humago. I thought
No,
we were
yeah.
just going to humor the goldenness of it.
Now let me categorize my answer because this is
Mm,
what I tweeted. This was in the morning. This is the first thing that I saw when I woke up, and it really pissed me off. I don't want to lie. It really pissed me off because I was thinking, how far gone are we as society to be discussing things like this? I mean, I understand the concept of engagement farming, but
mhm,
engagement farming, I would rather we stick to the who is the funniest comedian, who is funnier than who.
mhm.
But when we're now engagement farming with questions that speak about us as a people, about Ubuntu, about
Yeah.
humanity, I think we've
And the thought process behind the reasoning behind even having an otherly view is mad.
do you get what I mean? Do you get what
It's
I mean?
mad.
That's where I was. So when I said, and I don't even know, I feel like I should slightly apologize to people that have never heard me speak that way. But I don't even
Mm,
want to apologize because I want you to understand that is how far I want to go to register my disdain. I would
Fair.
like to think the people that know me because then the this apa 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 then there was someone, people were kicking and people. And then there was someone who came and said, "I wasn't expecting such language from you, though. I consider you to be a respectable person, and this language is a no."
Oh, cause
Uh,
won't go for yourself. Won't go to the hey, yo.
no, that was my response.
Yeah, yeah, we
My
did
response
that. Yeah.
was, "Mama."
That's your lavatories.
So this person then came and said, "Kuti, I didn't expect that from you." And I was like,
Hmm.
you see, for me, that's a tricky response because my first thought is, well, you probably don't know me that well,
Obvious.
right? You probably don't know me that well because, in as much as you might not know me to say these words, based on everything else, I think this cannot be far off from something that I would say, right?
Like even if you were to have an inkling of who I am
Yeah.
and what I do, this shouldn't hit you as
But then on the other end of that, on the extreme, on the opposite end of that, it's especially if you know me and what I purport to stand for, you should know, kuti, okay, anogona asingataure mawords aya, but this is as far as he was going to show. Surely he must have been so pissed off to do something so out of character,
right. Even
right?
then, it was just
Right?
like, yeah.
Panofanira kunge pane benefit of doubt. But where I want
Zvakafanira
to
kuti
bring,
wakanzwa Queen achiudza report kuti oh fuck off, you'd be like,
yeah,
hey, wagumbura Queen Elizabeth shamwari.
you know. So
Wanga wagumbura, hey, wanga wagumbura.
so where I want to take this conversation now is nyaye respectability politics. Yekuti I feel like where we are as society is we want to feign and project our sensibilities to people. And this is where everything is falling apart as society. Kuti inini I want you to disagree. Kana opinion uchita disagree or whatever. Let's come disagree again. Let's come disagree. But let's not fight over how I said something because that's how I said it. Let's
and that's that.
disagree with what I said. But
Ew,
let's not have a conversation about I think of you as a respectability because I'm going to ask you, Kuti, Ndiwan, why should I care?
all right then, la lose respect yako. Why should that be a big deal?
I don't wanna. And then the probable response is going to be because I'm a fan, because I support you, and it's like whoa. I'm
Kana
gonna
kana
respond.
kana ka- kana usiri avonly boy chimbo mira.
I'm and I know what. Kana, if you are not the boy from Avonlea, whoa,
You're not the boy from Avonlea, son.
whoa.
Yo.
And like it's these respectability politics. It takes us. I saw that comment and it gave me pause for thought. Could I the last thing that I personally want to be is respectable. Because if it means I have to think twice before I voice my opinion, I
And
don't want
cower
that.
and
I don't want that. If it means good, I am having to. I like to think of myself as someone who good. I as much as I would like to think so, as much as I don't necessarily needlessly shoot from the hip. Every
of
time,
course,
every time I've
yeah.
shot from the hip, I felt it necessary.
Oh man, come on.
You know,
Pew, pew.
every time I've put it out, I felt it necessary. So if
Udagara.
the one or two times that I'm shooting from the hip, you want to tell me, oh my God, you are
Oh,
disappointing
he's
the
shooting.
kids. You're disappointing. Because because apa munhu waurira kutsiura apa ndibaba wamaita ka ndibaba
Baba ungo munhu, bro. Come on, get out of
ndibaba
here.
ndibaba vaivai ka
Get. Shamar, come on.
I don't know better. The steps that are required kuti utwite ubudise ningirigini. Iwe uri kwauri ikoko ndiwazi aiwa.
Nobody's saying good revolver. No, like you said, it actually befuddles me. There's this guy who's like, uyu ngati ane voice rake chari chairo. And I'm like, big man, unondizira kupi kuti uzoti voice rangu
Bro,
chairo nderipi. Like,
bro,
voice rangu unondizira kupi for you to be
bro,
fucking talking about voice rako
bro.
chairo. And kamwe entitlement
Inini
again,
kana ba
that's how you know kuti hautondizive because dai
like
waindiziva waiziva kuti ndo voice rangu.
bro. And do you know when you respond to this, the retort is always more often than not going to be, oh, I'm not saying that I care about this ningrin. I was just, if you didn't care, big man, you wouldn't be here.
Shut up, bro.
You are a fan, and not even the good kind.
Not the good guy.
You are a fan.
You a fan, nigga.
You a fan.
Fan. Wapoza
Like
scrolling yako.
it's
You might not have gone out of your way kunotsvaga, but it came across your feed, you stopped. Ukati, something chiri kuitika pana.
but ndikazoda kudhipisa chacha ndidhipise here. Ndidhipise
Deeper,
here. Ndidhipise here. Ndidhipise here.
deeper, muku deeper.
I honestly think
Pinda mgoronga.
respectability politics has taken society as a whole, but Zimbabweans more specifically back. Because tichidzokera ku that
How do you mean?
original tweet, I think society started falling apart when people started calling maids my helper, or started finding these politically woke terms to refer to people that were
But
doing a job.
when we adopted PC culture,
Yeah, because I really sat down with myself and I thought that's one of the most needless things. I understand the thinking behind it. Kuti,
okay,
they were trying to humanize the people that help around the job, but
of course.
removing the way to humanize those people is to give them a living wage, to give them better working conditions. It's not to change the title
What the
of their
title?
job. It means nothing, because if you call them helper and
I
you still treat them like shit, it means nothing.
I reckon CC Jane cannot.
But
CC Sandra
do
is even more humanizing than.
you know when I started dipping it, when we did the episode and we spoke about the signs Mari,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how if your maid wore a uniform, what I can't remember when it was. I can't remember whether it was during editing, but I really clocked. I was like, yo, it's a job. The same way being a teacher is a job, is the same way a security guard is a job. We're not meant to be finding a fancy title of, because what does calling them a helper mean? As a matter of fact, you are probably calling them helper so that you can justify not paying them a good wage, because you are simplifying their job. It's not helping. They are working. Do you get what I mean? Like,
Would you rather
that person is not coming from Den Kwake to help you. Vari kutoya kugraph. In as much as part of their job ends up being the result, it's not the core focus of Ningrini. You're trying to
because it is housework after all. By definition, it's house.
And
so
it's
would you rather
hard.
yeah. Would you rather it be our house worker?
No. I'm saying, Kuti, what was the reason with changing it from maid in the first place? What was so wrong with the word? What connotation had we put behind the word maid?
That it needed to be that
That it,
people felt it's a,
do you get what I mean? Yekuti,
yeah,
it's
I think they had bastardized the profession to the point you see young guys is seen the respect. So yeah, it almost contaminated
so
the
the
poor living and
yeah
working conditions and wages tarnished
so
the word.
so so the thing that needs to be fixed is not the terminology, it's the
Mm,
conditions.
said
Fix the
conditions.
conditions. Yekuti, if you're saying
Mm.
kuti, as a matter of fact, let's bring Vana Sisi and ask them what they care about. Do they care about being called helper or a maid? Or do they care about earning enough to take care of
Mariam
whoever they need
Shangwa.
to take? Do you get what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
because because the people that decided these terms are people on Twitter that say, it's more politically correct to say helper.
I team rinenge raendawo kuuniversity abroad pick up my very liberal values global terms, the global
And my
shift
and my and
in
that's my
PC culture and language.
and that therein lies my problem. Because I feel as
Mm-hmm.
passionate as you feel about this as you felt about Daft last week. I
No,
feel
no, no,
as
I feel
passionate.
you. I see it.
I
Yeah, no,
feel
no,
as
I
passionate
feel it.
because
Mm.
I honestly I grew up seeing uh house housemaids, uh you know, garden boys, or landscape technicians being, some having incredible jobs, some being treated, you know, otherwise. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
as we grew up, in police camp, some of the people that I knew vataigara navo police camp imomomo vanhu vekuti vaenda munana grindo vachinorova magraft. Some of the
yeah.
most streetwise people, some of the most intelligent people, some of the some of it was a means to an end. I think we have bastardized certain things. And I was just using this particular, there's so many things that have been bastardized, and people come up with these terms that make themselves feel good and feel like they have
Mm,
done something to change the status quo. But it's just a word. It's just a word. As long as the living conditions stay the same, it means nothing to the person, whether you call them a helper, whether you call them a maid, whether you call them scanwe basa, whether you call them, give them
mm.
a decent living wage, treat them with humanity. It doesn't matter. Zvekuti you are doing this. It's a soiree,
Brother,
and you're doing your wife, and you're doing, our helper.
our helper, man. Get out of here. Yeah,
Get
no, you're absolutely right. It's somewhere. Une ka boys kaya kako staff quarters chichichi. Uri boy, you get a good wage. You know, my days I go offer it right. You're nice.
basa
Une
ibasa.
une access to Wi-Fi.
When they access to Wi-Fi, you
And
know,
people are respecting you. Gonna open them then with a graft. No, I give a fuck.
I
Hey,
don't care.
girl. I give a
You know,
fuck.
ndiri ini ndiri didaba nditoeneka boys kai kangu ndakurura hovhorosi yangu ndapinda pa Wi-Fi ndobva ndati www. Ndakati
Iwe ndautoona
ah
hangu muriwo.
ava ndasora ndichirima muriwo I- but I want to dips it even further now, bro.
Yeah, and the dip set.
I want to dips it even further now, pointing it politically. I honestly think some of the nonchalantness that we have
Mm.
politically, nyaya wataura yedaftness here,
Uh-huh,
is
uh-huh.
because of these respectability politics. Yekuti
Okay.
instead of kungomamisa munhu ataura zvisina basa, tenchiteti aiwa no ndipapa, andro aiwa no ndichamisa. Ndikera kana tiri kutsiurana pachedu pekuti no that's not how you say that. That's not
No.
how. But uri kuona kuti munhu auya nepoint rake, munhu auya nepoint rake riri strong, and 10 toes down we can see the reasoning, but we're
Yeah.
like no hazvidanzwo, you can't call out vakuru like that. Okay, can we do this and then tozozvigadzirisa? Do you get what I mean?
Man said, okay, can we go to Mamisa and then we can fix it?
but the half the momentum is lost pakutsiurana pachedu. Pakuti inini, I then say, aiwa munasha, aiwa, you can't call people daft. Aiwa, you can't call people. But I I recognize now, Kuti, as long as what you're saying is not coming from a place of maliciousness, as long
You
as
know,
what you're saying
it's not
is meant
attacking.
to, is, I mean, the result might end up being attacking, right? Like the message that you sent last week about people being daft. The people that are daft will watch that and feel attacked. But I think if the intention is not so much you were needlessly calling people daft, you were calling them daft for a purpose. You were calling them daft so that they stop being daft.
Could you look at
You know,
this is the hardcore shell evidence, Koti.
you
Therefore,
you know.
it's
So I feel like we need to interrogate that causation. We need to interrogate the intention behind. If Munashe didn't mean, if Kandoro didn't mean to be, if maybe what he said goes lost in the passions of what he said,
of what
like
you're saying.
the previous message that we were just speaking about, the semantics behind calling people helpers and maids and whatever. Some of it might have got lost in the passion that was sharing.
Of course.
But
Yeah, yeah.
after all is said and done, vanhu vanofanira kuti no, but Kandoro, did Kandoro mean offense? Before we dismiss
Yeah.
what he was
This
saying,
yeah, yeah,
before we
yeah, yeah.
dismiss what he was saying, what was he trying to communicate? Is there, if they interrogate that and find, no, hapana zvaanga achitaura, that's fair and fine.
Anga achitongotaura achibuda musaga. But
You know,
when you actually look at investigate nyaya yacho to the
but kana mukandidismissa zvandataura on the basis yekuti ndandichedzera, hakuna kwatosvika. That's where I feel like we've lost it
yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah.
people. We want to check each other in tone. Kuti aiwa zvinhu zvauri kutaura zvautaura wakashedzera. Aiwa zvinhu zvauri kutaura zvautaura wakamira. Aiwa zvinhu zvauri kutaura
Iwe,
zvautaura wakanhingirikina. Aiwa and before you know it,
I've
gore ratopfuura.
I've often held the belief that Mazimba generally to not taura nyovo. Like from what I see, I just be like, hey, Mazimba anobuda musaga, yeah, yeah.
Aiwa,
So
but yeah.
I
So
didn't even realize it may have been that rampant. To be honest, I'm trying to think back at it.
but think
Maybe.
about I'll give you specific examples. I'll think about when people criticize Chamisa.
hmm
What do people say?
Okay, yeah, 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 I see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
yeah,
no, 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 no. You see that one there.
yeah.
You see that one.
When people
Yeah,
criticize Winky D, what do people say?
my joker, my example. Why?
Andrew Manje.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
we
yeah.
need to ask ourselves now, Kuti, in that criticism, Yachamisa, is there
Panyepwe, panyepwe.
you know? And then we take the things on board, we introspect, rather than to dismiss wholeheartedly or to dismiss offhand because aiwa ari kutaurwa ndini ngirikini kana kuti uri kushedzera kana kuti the most common one is kuti why are you doing it in public, muri kufadza vanhu
Argumamira in public.
do
And as you find homeboy taking a shit in broad daylight in public. What is it?
so
Hey, bro, what did I say? One of us, no, some sort of
no, no, no.
man.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Look at him.
What do you mean? So yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
god.
I think my rant is over. I don't know.
Yeah,
To be
no, no,
honest.
no. I felt it. No, no.
Oh,
It's it was a worthy one. I like the setup and the conversation and munhu anobvunzira ushandisa wifi mangandori vakati psych trick question.
false flow,
Psych.
false flow, false flow, false flow. 3D chess in this.
I was like, oh shit, oh damn, I got. That's funny.
Nah, bro, it's
That's a,
been it's been
that's
incredible. In the Mromo Black and Forth with a passy, did you see?
this minute. Hey, I was about
Hey,
to say.
hey,
Oh, I was about to
hey,
get to that.
hey, Mromo Black and Forth with a passy. Mromo Black
Another
and Forth with a pass,
100K, boom.
bro,
At Vovo,
bro.
Valpeza Zhao, game set match, boom.
The
Raw
same day
passy.
we spoke about Fadzai Mahere, that whole defamation, she gets a win against Edmund Kudzai. And somebody brought up a brilliant point about Fadzai Mahere as well.
Mm.
If any of these allegations of a misdemeanor sex capades, if there was any
Semblance
modicum
of.
of truth, or if there was even a morsel of truth to them, she would not take them to court.
They wouldn't risk her going into discovery
She,
and
she did,
decision.
and I was like, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely so. Shout out to the homie who brought up that comment. Um, but also in that
No,
same
no, no.
frame, in the daftness, your papa was telling people to gravity is a mad thing. Gravity is magic.
It's
Earth,
mass.
Earth is flat.
It's mass.
Uh,
Barbara. Imi.
uh,
Mukona. Awana and this down to like a broken record, but
yeah.
Muromo breaking for the weird part does. It's like clockwork, bro.
Awireba dhaza zvite.
It's ridiculous. But are we gonna get Advovo? We need Advovo on the podcast.
We need Advovo. I worry
That
though,
would
kuti at the
be
end of the by the end of the podcast, we might get it disbarred because we might unleash, we might ish the bridge
mm,
Empress Fadzi on the thing. Empress Fadzi on
out.
the thing.
Because yeah, Panaba, we might go there into actual recklessness.
She might tell us her deepest. She might come on some hit them up. First of all,
M- Small house, yeah, man, I want to know the apparent guy. And
you know.
in fact, hold up. Can you hear this? Did I play this voice note? Nonsense, my name's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
On a
And
petty
then
thing,
yeah, on a petty thing.
Anzi vari kuita seko kunzo.
Uh, I'm looking now. Winky D got Fabrizio Romano to announce his next show, which sent the
All
whole
right.
yeah, which was a mad one. Sent the whole of social media into your friends, man. What a move. Tipire
Okay.
Matotse New West End.
So I want to pick your brain on this.
Mm.
Mfana Lamine Yamal turns
Yeah,
18 years.
yeah,
As you know, Mfana has been on some alien type run for his
yeah,
age, accomplishments, club and country.
yeah,
Ridiculous. Top of the world. Arguably one of the best players in the world currently,
yeah,
or before he turned 18. So obviously it goes without saying he's turned 18. It's a big hoorah.
yeah,
Word comes out, he hired dwarfs or
yeah.
people with dwarfism as part of the entertainment, and now they're giving him shit. What are your thoughts? Is Mfana offside, or are we falling back into this respectability nonsense, uh, foul offense taking? I don't know.
See, now on that level, it's tricky, isn't it? Because I mean, I mean, I mean, I would like to think with you, Hey, hey, this one is
But bear in
tough
mind,
because
they get paid. I don't know how much they got paid.
no,
I'm assuming they
yeah,
got paid guap, guap, guap.
probably. So do you know this one is difficult for me because when I think of that scenario being described, I go to straight Wolf of Wall Street and what they were being done in Wolf of Wall Street. Have you watched Wolf of Wall Street?
I know exactly what you mean. But okay.
So when I read this story, right? When I heard this story, I was like, Nai Lamine mwanangu. Nai
Hey,
nai
but hey,
nai
nice.
nai Lamine mzukuru. First of
Wow.
all, on that
Damn
level
blood.
of yeah, like so the crazy thing is on that level, Yana Lamine, right?
Mm.
Anything is a scandal. That's one.
What? That's true. Hey,
Anything is a
anything is a
anything is a
anything
hauna kuvhurira gogodho mushop hauna kutipa the
scandal,
right amount hauna
scandal,
walike post isiriyo so
scandal.
I'm thinking they should have known better. The team should have known better. It's either you're signing the craziest because before I
But my
even go to
bookings, actually, and whatnot, let the kid not even be there or even
the
be
the
involved if
craziest
that's what you man
NDAs,
are gonna be
bro,
doing.
the craziest NDAs
Ah,
known to mankind. Because at this point, I don't think we can even say kuti musazviite because zvatoitika, right? But
it's dumb.
kana makuzviita if you commit to that idea, especially if you're saying that you're going to do this in a respectful way, everyone is going to get paid their wage. How does information like this come out?
Right?
That means
Because I
kuti
was,
this operation is
I,
not.
it's loose. It's bare leaks.
That means kuti someone somewhere invited some TikTok girls that were just giving it's
Yeah,
good to be energy. So
yeah, 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 yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
they uh, do you get what I mean? I I
You're
I I
absolutely
saw this.
right.
I saw that story and I was like, and especially also if you consider the year that Lamine has had, he's
Oh
been
my
killing.
god,
He's been killing
we,
things.
what a
Media
Debbie
wise,
Downer for that.
yes. Media wise, you just know kuti if you're a sports personality who's had a hot streak, at some point it has to dip.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. Is that dip going to be man-made? Are you going to
Or
contribute to
are you
it?
going to
Is it?
it's self orchestrated?
Do you get what I mean? I just thought with it, this is one of those. Why dwarves?
I I
what?
I don't know, but if they've paid and these men were approached, I'm just saying, these
So
men
so
were
so so
approached.
wait. So wait. The people that are making a big hoo-ha around this, are they saying kuti? What is the complaint?
So the issue here is, I think there's a human rights disability something
Ah,
organization uh, in uh, in Spain. So this group or party or what they they were the ones who cited, no, this is a violation of rights and dignity and what and it goes against, it violates the values of that sort of like party. I think it's kind of like how the, I don't know, equality, diversity, and inclusion act type stuff. And the governing bodies that uphold that and regulate that sort of stuff. They're the ones who are kicking up a fuss. So yeah,
but you,
I think,
yeah, what do
but
you
it's
think?
also similar.
Mm,
Interestingly, I don't know. It's also similar to when they were shooting that Snow White movie,
mm.
and Peter Dinklage came out and said, "Nah, I think it's problematic that you've got the whole Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs angle of things. So I think Disney kind of took that on board, and that formed part of their reasoning to change that altogether. And so
What
now
what did they
a
change it
lot
to?
of I think they CGI'd them or changed the characters from dwarfs altogether. I don't know. But
So
basically,
there were no dwarves in the.
yeah. So basically, nobody eat. And so now all the little people in the entertainment industry, in the arts acting industry, they were like, "Hey, big man, big man." Such story, nigga. Don't. Hey, yo, hey, nigga, I need that. So obviously they were a little annoyed by Peter Dinklage arguing that, yo, brother, you've just that could have been seven niggas who were working right now,
I'm actually looking it
making
up. I'm actually looking it
doing
up.
good work, you know. But I kind of hear Peter Dinklage's point of view because they're like, "Oh, the dog, you've been in Game of Thrones, Death at a Funeral, all these amazing, incredible the projects. You're nice. You don't care for this. Hey, I need this." So it begs the question: if you're happy to be paid for it, and what's at stake.
No, 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 no. Yeah, no, 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 no. You had it the other way around. Yeah, because I was like, what is my boy Peter doing? So it turns out that Disney wanted to CGI the thing,
Hmm.
and Peter was like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? You need to put
So he was like, "Put the real mandem in."
yeah, put the real mandem in. Cause I was like, yeah, my boy Peter. Cause I just looked it up. So
No,
it says
are you sure Peter didn't
yeah.
come and say, "Nah,
No, no,
the dwarf thing is a mad thing"?
no, no, no. Because that would be mad for him to do. Aside from it being mad to do, my boy Peter is usually one of the most reasonable people in. So I was like, wait,
It's
I was like,
like,
why
hey,
was he being unreasonable about this? So
big
it says it says Peter Peter Dinklage, the actor known for his role in criticized Disney's live-action
man.
Snow White, the remake, calling it backward. He took issue with the fact that Disney was proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White while simultaneously telling a story that reinforces negative stereotypes about people with dwarfism, particularly the depiction of the seven dwarfs. Uh, he argued that it perpetuates stereotypes by using CGI to portray the seven dwarfs instead of casting actors with dwarfism, effectively erasing their potential roles.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. So
hey,
yeah, because yeah. No, I'm glad
hey,
we. But I think you're
hey.
right. Yeah, I think your point still exists. The point that you're making, Kuti, if if and we might be speaking about this from a place of limited knowledge, and I hope
Mhm.
it doesn't this part of the discussion doesn't come out in any shape or way malicious, right? But if you're
Yeah.
not going to cast
And
people with
and and I'm glad
dwarfism,
and I'm
yeah.
glad you done that fact check there and hey
I mean, it was hey,
hey.
hey, son. Oof. But 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 your point and your sentiment, even
Yeah.
though we had got it, was very very much. I agree with it. If you're saying with these people, this group of people are being
Kuti mudawatsangura
commissioned
on their behalf.
for
Because
work and being because I mean this is I don't see any other way that this doesn't happen without consent. Right?
yeah.
I don't see a way that this doesn't happen without consent. And again, might be overstating things because we don't know how these things work. But I'm assuming somebody reaches out and says, "Yo, we want to do a party. This is
More
X
often than
amount."
not,
And say,
they very well may be an agency for people who fit that
Right.
sort of, description.
And
And you'll
again,
be so
because of
surprised,
respect,
bro. There's agencies for just twins. Like
and
if you're looking for
yeah,
twins, there's, you know what I mean. So
again, now because of respectability politics, again, I don't know whether are we allowed to say dwarfism or is it little
I,
people? What is the correct
it's little
terminology?
people. I mean, I think the medical term would be, the condition would be dwarfism, but I think the more
Because yeah, because
socially appropriate term is little people, little persons.
a- is it acho or achondroplasia? Acondo achondropra achondroplasia. Achondo. It can't be achondo because that's now short.
Achondroplasia.
But no, there's no R. Achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism. The reason why I say this is because there's a sentence where Peter Wacho actually says a sentence that includes the words dwarfism. But yeah, we take offense on behalf of people.
Mm. Usanditsamwire sha iwe shamwari one walk through.
Murutsangwa on behalf of my maids, Murutsangwa.
Disney vega vakauya vakatozvane tichagadzira Snow White and but tell you what, it's not fair, let's just CGI them. Yeah,
Imagine,
azvinongonaka. And then
imagine
man are
Maita,
like, yo, muda wa CGI
Abba Maita Snow White, a Latina actress. So if you're that open-minded, then be open-minded.
let's open
As a
it.
matter of fact, on this Snow White thing, the only people that should be guaranteed jobs are these people. Mozanetsana
Yeah,
nekutsvaga Snow White, but
Snow White. In fact, you should
this
even
role
be
is
like, we have
specific.
to be, as sensitive as we can. Saka tofanira to say, "Twabara bo."
But if there's certain jobs that we should never have to discuss, kana mukutaura Lord of the Rings, kana makutaura Harry
Nana
Potter, kana
Hobbit,
makutaura
nana
any of these ningirini, guaranteed jobs. Zvenyu zvekuda kuti makuda kuzobika ningirini. Whoa, big man. Yeah, I
Magara
think
musukugadzira ma stories are inclusive kudaro anyway.
I think as society we might have taken a step back. We might have overdone it with this overcorrectness and failed to actually correct our behaviors because in society, I think my if for whatever reason the things that I was saying got lost in translation, the takeaway is this: we've become obsessed with semantics, how we
Yeah,
say things, what we call people. I think what should matter is how we actually treat people, how we actually coexist with people. Because
how we
if
behave and
if if if
interact.
if little people lived humane lives to begin with, if they were being allowed to coexist within society, pasina kumirira these specific things, we would
And
not be
being
hyper.
represented, yeah,
Exactly.
and being
We would not be.
represented in actual everyday stories and TV and movies.
As a matter of fact, even murutodzosera little people kumasure, because are you saying kuti makavaona muri kupati koko and just assume kuti vari kubatirira?
Ikuti,
They they couldn't have been invited to the party just on the basis of being incredible people. Because where does this
aiwa,
investigation start? Where does this investigation
chigadzirai,
start? Makaona,
chigadz
you saw a person with dwarfism and say,
anenge ari kudzvanyirirwa
do you get what I mean?
achitamba nebhodhoro pabhandi sezvinoita chidzi zvezvo mumashure vakati ari kubatirwa.
At what point did your antenna go off? At what point did you actually see kubatirwa kuchiitwa, or you just approached the matter uchitongoassume kuti wakabatirirwa? It's
And
like entering.
furthermore, you can't say kuti zvone, there's not enough representation of TV shows, movies, in
No.
general, not under any special circumstances, but in general, to start with. And
Yeah.
then when the little work, like you're saying, comes up, and then it's still nah, but not that kind of work. Nah. It reach it. So I'm not right. So what the fuck you want me to do with
As a matter of fact,
yo?
who's dehumanizing you? Who?
Who right now?
Who's because okay, 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 okay. What is the conversation here? Is the conversation that they shouldn't do that work, or is the conversation that they are getting paid little to do that work? What is the conversation?
I
What is
think
what I want to
I
challenge those
think
people. What is your gripe?
I think they were saying, well, particularly with this Lamine Yamal case, they were saying
Mm,
it's not so much the fact that they've been paid and whatnot, but
mm,
they just, like you so rightfully said, I don't know if something leaked or if maybe they've got footage of what said entertainment was that hasn't been stated. I'm sure if that was the case, tabloids would have been doing a matting with that. But I don't know. We're yet to see. But I think from what I hear, even that body was like, nah, yeah, cool. You can take on paid work, entertainment, you get paid for it. But in this instance, I think Basarachoka, Rangar City, we are laughing with you. It was we are laughing at you.
mm.
I don't know.
Okay,
Zvakafana kuti mahaya comedian anosekesa kuti monakira then mohaya comedian waunonyatsoziva kuti anoposhera mana ava.
right. So
And
that you can
it's so bad
okay.
uyaimone munhu achishaya
Achiposhi.
and
Okay.
then tokona kutema nemadomasi kana takanyatsofarisa type thing.
Okay. Okay. If it's like that, then they
Mm.
might honestly have a real grievance, right? I'm not
Yeah,
going
no,
to
no, no.
fight that.
That's a valid one.
That's a valid
But
one.
like you said, Jabuda
Ja-
say
You know,
how is this being approached? How is this being established?
if it ends up being a situation where you're saying, oh, pane zvinhu zvataona, that we can't agree with this. There was humanity. What I'm against is people just showing up on the basis yekuti something smells fishy. Because honestly, like you said earlier, if we had created a society where little people, tall people, people with disabilities, people
Mm.
with albinism,
Albinism,
people with vertigo. Is it
mm.
vertigo or is vertigo? Yeah.
Vertigo.
You know, if we could coexist the same way people coexist on Star Wars movies, we would not
Mm.
have a problem.
Yeah.
Like when you watch Star Wars film, bro, they have
Yeah, bro.
picked a
Yeah,
side when no
my
one sees
yo.
no one sees Jabba and says, "What is that?"
Well, what?
Like it's bro. At no point in those movies do they even give you a moment to be like,
Yo,
"Whoa,
hey yo, wait. You know why you know why I'm dying
yeah,
is because I've never really been like a Star Wars guy
yeah,
like that. But The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, yeah,
yeah,
I've been watching that on Disney Plus. Anyway, I say that to say, um, my initial immersion into that world was each time, yeah, like
yeah,
no matter how many times I watch them episodes, I can never watch an episode of that and not think if I lived amongst this society, this
yeah.
community, like would I ever get used to like because like no like what is that? What is
Bro, even Mr. Rodden, but even the idea of Yoda. Why are we taking instructions from this little guy?
who's my man, bro?
who's
Hey yo, so none of
hey,
y'all niggas ever stopped to
so
ask what
like
what
bro,
is
At no point do those movies give you time to even
to
get used to the fact you could see, oh, this is a talking. None of this. It's
bro,
normal. They just go about
yo,
this. They look like this. They look like. So if we did that in our society, and I even think it probably was an intentional commentary on Lucas
coexistence.
coexistence,
Mm.
trying to create like a utopia of sorts where you
Mm.
are judged on the basis of your character, not what
And
you
what you
look like,
contribute
on what you
to
contribute in society.
society.
So if Kanaori Mbava,
Mm.
you get Kanaori Munane Utsinye, all those things. If you're a person that's ambitious, if you're all those things, I honestly think that would serve us better as society, bro.
Yeah, boss,
But we got so
unogona kutongopinda muhospital tuna vamwe mani vane half trunk netuma antena ndokuti nemaziso achitokura operation, then you just gotta have to be like, hey bro, ndiye anoziva.
like
Kana kuti ndiye
imagine
pilot wedu nhasi.
imagine imagine that nigga sews you up. That nigga sews you up, transplants your heart, and then the thing that kills you is shock.
Paunobvuna maziso.
But he said the thing that kills you is shock.
Oh,
What? Hold
oh,
up.
what is that? Oh my god.
I honestly
What
think we need
is
to do better, man.
yo? I want, I want to see that in a stand-up comedy set.
I honestly think we
Because
can do better,
what
man.
said what, yo? Are you? Hey, am I bugging, bro? Are you? Hey, yo. Unongana
Jindega.
unovisita macousins. Unongana unovisita macousins ako.
Ndosaka msingade kuti tiye kuno.
Mark, oh shit.
Like,
What?
ndozvamunoita kuwaterfalls. All right.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
Imagine sewe wasvika waterfalls mazi mfeso yedu anotengesera marizi lanogara pazasi apa. Muchopinda papepo. Vari kutobuda jabha nemandudu.
Vobuda vanenge vasina kana makumbo, vanenge vari hozhwa vachipiva
Inoita
wobva wapenengura mandudu kudai.
anenge achiburiswa
munenge chaskipi chete chiburi
tuhomwe.
chekangaru chete tuhomwe.
Bro. Nah, I honestly think we need to do better, man.
Oh fuck. Whew. Yeah,
I
no,
honestly
it's
think
way too
I-
hot for this.
I honestly think we need to do better as a society.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, this is
Kufira
okay.
pa semantics.
Let me tell you something, right? And I've said this time and time again. It's probably like a very pessimistic outlook on things, but you know when they man say there's nothing new under the sun, I fully believe it. But there's nothing new under the sun, and the pendulum always swings, and it swings so far, it only needs to start swinging back. And it's when it swings back so far enough. It only
Yeah.
like we've seen it. Problem with modern day man is we think we're actually so progressive zvisingatomboiti. We think kuti hey, we think kuti zvese zvatiri kuita is so new and groundbreaking, and it's not, bro. So society yakatosvika papoint painoti hey, this is an unsustainable way of fucking doing things. We need to, hey, sunga mabound panap, hey, get shit together. I'm telling you.
Wait until TikTok comes across my pedal pusher. Wait, my J-Lo.
Iwe maspaghetti to basa
Maspaghetti to.
maspaghetti to. Do you know what's back? You know a trend amongst the young
back?
G's. What's back? My 3/4 jeans. Right?
I've been seeing, bro, and I'm like,
jeans, my Tim's 3/4 jeans, Tim's white tee. and the flat bass.
Damn franchise boys.
Them franchise
Damn
boys.
franchise boys.
Brother, they're coming back. I
Hey,
saw that.
do,
I clocked that a couple of
hey.
weekends ago. I was like, oh,
Do you remember my days, Anna? Lean with him.
with me.
And to think with it, this was before
Anyway,
TikTok challenges. TikTok would
nah,
absolutely go crazy with
them
this.
man were they were ahead of their time on that one. But in all fairness, they were at the, you know, at the precipice, yeah,
Mm. Social media, digital age, and
because round about that time is when people started downloading ringtones. I'd
what
say,
what piece of technology would you bring back if you had an opportunity to bring back something? One thing.
fuck, that's a good question. That is a very, very good
What
question.
would you bring back? Something that you don't
Oh,
feel like you had enough time with.
ooh, because it's so hard because everything is now in a phone.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think what could be a thing that didn't need to
I
be in a phone.
I think for me, I think my phones went to shit when we put them together. Phone and music.
So
Phone
you
and
wanted a separate
for I
device, your music, and
because I mean convenience works now. But like,
Mhm.
bro, I don't feel like I had enough time with the iPod.
I see what you mean. I
Uruguanaga,
see what you mean.
that click, that
Yeah,
library,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
because for me, I think what phones and digital service, what do they call it? Digital streaming platforms.
Mm-mm-mm.
I think what they've done is they have removed choice. Choice. The
Yeah, because I
choice.
won't go download the you have to be intentional with what you're chucking on there.
Do you get what I mean? They've removed choice.
Yeah.
Now, even when you're listening, you could start off one song and then
Yeah.
they start
And then you get
suggesting
carried
and
away, and
they
then
say the
it's just
algorithm.
now.
But like if you had the iPod in a 512 megabytes, you knew which songs you were putting, you knew which albums you were putting. So it meant
You have to
even
be
you had
decisive.
it meant even you had the sharing. There was an opportunity to share things, and it was an intimate process with you and your music. These are my albums. Ari mu library mangu, mu iTunes mangu, meningini. You could almost get lost. And even now, the idea kuti, the listening process isn't as intimate anymore because you're
Yeah.
listening to music and then doody, Instagram comes in.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Voice note comes in. Voice note comes in. You listen to the voice note, the Ningrigini stops. Whereas those things used to, I'm listening to music or I'm on the phone.
It's not either or.
You know,
But
those processes were not, and just in any, yeah,
that's a
iPods, man.
valid point. I'm trying to
Yeah.
see. I'm trying to think. What would that be for me?
Well,
Ah, yeah, no, no. I had an MP3 player, kanker decent. I never had an iPod
which
to be
MP3
honest.
did you want? The black ones, angane ka screen ka sleep ka.
Yeah, the black one I got screen, but mine had like a little rubbery, grippy thingamajig. My
Right.
brother had one
Keuti,
that
use
resembled an iPod, but it wasn't.
skip uchiti, you had to push a button that was rubber. You had to
Yeah, yeah,
kite,
but I got
kite.
skip. Yeah, that thing. Yeah, kind of the USB jack. So where that's where I was at, and I used to rinse that. So I really wouldn't feel too hard done by the iPod. I never had an iPod, but you know, one that might have looked cool for me,
Yeah.
a pager,
Oh.
because a pager unongona kuti ndiana afona ari kuda kutraya kunanga kini and then zviri kwauri kuti ndoda kukubayira back.
Yeah, I think for
It's
you
like
that way.
yeah
I think
yeah
for
like
I think for you right now ukatoudzwa kuti kune kwaari kutotengeswa right now uri kutoinvesta man because kana pane munhu who is a big fan of the option to pick up and answer and respond. I think I think panonzi you have an old soul. Panonzi you have an old soul and your soul is stuck in the 30s. I think you are in that pager area. Ndimi makatextera Kelly pa Excel kuti
Excel dilemma baby that dilemma
and you never because if there is someone who has a antagonistic relationship with their phone, it's and to be honest, at this point, I think I would blame everyone in your life who would act surprised. Do you get what I mean?
Come on,
Like,
come on
I would blame everyone who would want to make it an issue at this point. Because at this point, it's just like, no.
You know who you're dealing with. You know what this is.
Don't be silly. You know, like
let's
it's
not act surprised now.
If you're going to call this person and say Ndine agent business, you're going to die. Yeah, you're going you want something that is to get resolved. No.
I'm not quite sure you
Yeah,
are
pager.
really grasping how urgent you want this to be done. Because if you were serious about this being carried out urgently, you would know this is the last minute.
I think we are pager. Yeah, that page I can absolutely see
pager,
that
me.
resonating with you. It doesn't track. So people are not gonna myself and ruined your life, huh?
Hey,
Uh,
24/7, round the clock, round the hour.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep it here, keep it cute because we're serving all the energies for this Saturday. It's going to be vibes on vibes.
Yeah. Today's one was just easy, laid back.
It wasn't that laid back though. The boys were throwing some betting.
Do you know there's times where I finished we finished the episode and I'm like, yeah, today it was a chill, it was a laid back one. And then it comes out and then I start watching and then I'm like, oh that was not laid. That was anything but laid back.
It was anything but laid back.
That was gas.
But yeah, man, catch you guys on Saturday. Big shout out to everybody that's coming. Looking forward to it, man.
See you lot.